Welcome to the Recruiting Scoop on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel powered by InsideTexas.com. I'm Joe Cook, got Justin Wells. We're talking transfer portal today. That's the big deal going on now that Texas is about to be off for Easter. No recruits coming in. Had their big weekend last week. The high schoolers have to take a little bit of have to cede some of the spotlight to the transfer portal, and there's been plenty of news and notes so far. Make sure you like this video and you subscribe to the channel. And if you have not yet, make sure you head to InsideTexas.com. You can get $1 will get you 4 months of access, all the transfer portal intel, everything you need to know about the Longhorns. And in addition to that, make sure that if you are heading to Texas for Fan Day, come by on the Friday of the Texas A&M game. We will be hosting a tailgate. We'll have details forthcoming on the location of that, but Academy is being a great help to us, providing a giveaway for Inside Texas members and others who show up to this tailgate. No purchase necessary. You could win a Blackstone griddle, a Yeti hard cooler, a flag canopy, a folding chair, and a 20-ounce tumbler. No purchase necessary and must be present to win. And you're going to want to be present. We'll all be out there on the Friday of the Texas A&M game, baseball game over at the Dish. Today, Justin, we got to talk a little bit about portal. There's possible good news coming. Got a little bit of bad news-ish coming down the pike earlier today, and then we'll talk about one more big target now that a position needs an addition here on the Longhorns roster. So let's go over some of the latest transfer portal news and notes. We had been tracking Cal tight end Jack Endries. As soon as he jumped in the portal, seemed like someone that made sense for the Longhorns. Yesterday, it was reported, I believe, by On3 and by Pete Thamel that he intends to visit Texas and that the Longhorns are in a good position for him. Pete Nakos, our buddy, even put in a prediction, or wrote a prediction at least, that he expects to see or would predict Endries to pick Texas. What's the latest that you've heard on this recruitment as the Longhorns look to bolster the tight end room?
Yeah, so we've known that Texas wanted to go at tight end, among other positions in the portal. That was going to happen. And then Jordan Washington gets injured, and they start to see just how much depth that they actually need at that spot. Jack Endries checks a lot of those boxes, man. The guy had 61 targets last year, and he caught 56 balls. That's efficiency. This is a guy that can do a lot in this offense, and it would probably walk in as a starter day one. And also understand, Texas doesn't get everybody they want in the portal, but they get a lot of what they want. And so at this stage right now, there's nothing that leads us to believe that Jack Endries won't end up with Texas. But, these things have to play themselves out. He has to make it on campus and do all that fun stuff. But, look, Texas they have to give Arch Manning the same amount of toys that they gave Quinn Ewers. You've got to give him a guy like a Jatavian Sanders Gunnar Helm that can be a third down safety valve, that can move chains. And this guy is, he's got a little bit of Emmett Mosley in that they don't miss the ball. Like, they catch everything. Emmett might be a little bit more of the aggressive blocker of the two, which is funny, but Jack does not miss the ball. And I think that's exactly what Arch and this offense is going to need. They know what they have at running back. They've got a pretty good idea at receiver, but tight end is still kind of an unknown. Jack Endries ends. Endries is the end of the unknown if he winds up in Austin.
Yeah, it looks like this has been a good development for Texas, one to track. And it's one of those things where when you are hosting portal prospects, you want to get everything done as quick as possible. You would prefer not to see that prospect leave your campus without saying, hey, I'm coming. I'll be there soon. Right. I don't think any other school has really been up to the level that Texas has as far as recruiting Endries. I think there may be an Indiana connection with Fernando Mendoza, his old quarterback at Cal. He transferred to the Hoosiers. I think there might be a connection there. But so far, it sounds like Texas is the front runner, and we're not sure what the other horses in the race are. So that bodes well for what the Longhorns want to add at tight end. We talked about them a bunch yesterday on our live. Ian Boyd has a great article scouting Endries. He had 56 catches for 623 yards and a couple touchdowns last year for the Bears. had 35 catches for 407 yards in 2023. Former walk-on, just someone who has really, found his developmental curve and went up it real fast. And now maybe Texas gets to take advantage of that developmental curve provided by the Golden Bears. Let's go. One more thing on injuries.
No, I was just going to say, someone had mentioned on the board, at this stage, you always want to recruit the best high school players, but sometimes let them warm up and cook at another big school for a couple years and then grab them. And Jack Indries kind of checks that exactly. Like he walked on. And look, if you get a chance, go to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel and check out our live yesterday, because Ian really did go into depth. You and Ian went hardcore into Jack Indries' perspective. And it just shows you how much he can benefit from Texas and how much that the Horns need this guy. I think Arch Manning, I think it's been kind of an underwritten thing that Texas really needs to gas up that room in the tight ends. Look, Nick Townsend could come in June and be ready. We've seen him, Maury Winston, have flashes this spring. Jordan Washington was doing really well before he got dinged up. But you need veterans, and Jack Indries is a vet. And that's something that you're going to make another playoff run with Manning. You need that type of tight end.
We'll go to news that didn't go Texas' way. Maryland defensive tackle Levon Johnson was on campus yesterday. We saw pictures of him in Kenny Baker's office, FaceTiming with Tavondre Sweat, visiting Austin. That was one that, kind of came to fruition very, very quickly. He had posted that, hey, this is the schools that are interested in me. Yeah. All of a sudden, he shows up on campus for a visit. But Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels landed his signature today. And now, what happened there as far as you could tell, and what's next for defensive line recruiting when it comes to the Longhorns?
I think Texas shot essentially with Johnson. It felt like, though, towards the end, maybe North Carolina was going to be the spot the entire time. Just understand, sometimes when these guys hit the portal, they know where they're going before they enter the portal. That's just part of the business. You can call it tampering, you call it whatever it is, but I call it business as usual in the NCAA. Maybe, and that might have been something he had set up already with Chapel Bill. Maybe they gave him an NIL offer he couldn't refuse. But at the end of the day, Texas, we know they want another defensive lineman. Do they have to get another one? Not necessarily. But Levon Johnson was an interesting prospect, and they brought him in and tried it out. It just didn't work. North Carolina is going to be the spot. Does that mean they close the door at D tackle? I don't think so necessarily. Don't be surprised if we see another name or two pop up. Don't be surprised if you see another guy end up on campus next week. Just to kick the tires, see what's there, because Texas is going to be they're going to continue to push for a handful of other spots, and they're not done at defensive tackle. If they see the right guy, they'll make a push.
I remain ambivalent about Levon Johnson. If he had been added, I don't know if he's ahead of Alex January. He's going elsewhere. It's fine.
And that's who you're looking for. That's really who you're looking for.
Right. I think you feel like you have, like we mentioned the other day, you have 3.5 that you're pretty confident in for the upcoming season. You want to get another one. I'm not exactly sure if Levon Johnson could have been that, but we'll never know. It'll be up to North Carolina to figure that out for us. So would have been okay with it. And he joined the Longhorns. I'm okay with him going to North Carolina. Before we keep going, got to show some love to our sponsor, and that is Luxe Kitchen and Bath.
This video is brought to you by Luxe Kitchen and Bath. Luxe has been offering high-end kitchen and bathroom remodels for 3 generations throughout the greater Austin area. With 5-star review after 5-star review on Google and Facebook, and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can put your faith in Luxe Kitchen and Bath's award-winning designers and skilled craftspeople to bring to life that dream vision of your special home. But that's not all. Luxe's all-star team provides full remodels, large additions, and even commercial build-outs as well. So call Luxe Kitchen and Bath at 833-358-LUXE today. Or visit luxekitchenbath.com to discover where quality meets luxury and begin the process of transforming your home. Get a free quote today by calling 833-358-LUXE. That's LUXE. or by visiting luxekitchenbath.com. Link in the description.
Justin, kickers are important. I'll make sure everybody knows that. And as we saw Bert Auburn elect to enter the portal on Thursday night, that kind of coincides with something that we had heard. I had heard enough to put it in a prediction in for Texas to land Texas State kicker Mason Shipley out of the portal. I don't know if it's quite cut and dry quite yet, as he is being pursued by a lot of different programs. Yeah. And we saw our friends over at Sooner Scoop and George Stoya report that Shipley visited Norman on Thursday as well, may still be there. But Texas, Oklahoma, a number of other Big 12 schools are here in the hunt for Mason Shipley. And it looks like that's who Jeff Banks and Steve Sarkisian really want as their guy taking kicks after a rough 2024 season for Bert Auburn.
You said they need a kicker. How important is kicking?
Very.
After last season, I think every Texas fan would agree with that. There's a reason we continually talked about over the last couple of weeks. Texas was going to go for another kicker way before Auburn had hit the portal. We had a good idea that was going to happen, and so this is where Texas is. And this also falls in with kind of what I was talking about with injuries. Someone had mentioned on the Inside Texas members forum, why recruit a high school kicker? Just go get your all MAC kicker. Go get the all Southwest Conference kicker. Go get the all ACC kicker. Why waste a recruiting spot, in a class on a kicker when you can just go get one with veteran experience? I think that's a really good idea, actually. I think that's phenomenal. And so I think that's what Texas is going to have to do. They really like Mason Shipley. He's made a name for himself just down the road at San Marcos. He's not far away from the Liberty Hill Shipleys, of course. Yeah, Texas, this is one that they were not going to go into 2025 with the current kicking situation. With Auburn and Stone, they both have their nits to pick about each, but we knew they were going to go for they wanted some veteran experience. And Auburn had a great career at Texas outside of a few misses last year. He really did. This guy was nails, but there were big kicks. Like that one cost the SEC championship in a sense. And so you got to make sure you shore that up. And Jeff Banks, we know how important the third phase of the game is to him when it comes to the kicking and punting side. Mason Shipley, like injuries, just makes a lot of sense, but he's in high demand. People want and need these kickers. They understand how valuable they are. That no one talks about the kicker until they miss one, until something bad happens. And so, they may have a battle on their hands with Oklahoma and a few other schools, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it interesting. Texas is going to be battling Oklahoma always for recruits. No change with the portal. But kicking is, like you said, it's important. It's very important in 2025. Sark wasn't going to go into this year without a new guy. And right now, we still like where Texas sits with Mason Shipley. I'll be a lot happier when that thing potentially pops.
I have nothing more to add. I think that was as best as you could sum up that situation. But we'll emphasize again, this is an in-demand player, and we'll see if I have good reason. I put in a prediction that Texas would land them, and I think they'll meet that demand. Thank you for watching this video. Hey, make sure you like this video and you subscribe to the channel. And, of course, make sure you go to InsideTexas.com. You can get 4 months for just $1. Awesome deal. Gets you all the way up through most of fall camp. And by that point, you're going to want to stick around for the season. And, of course, got to thank our friends at Academy. Again, we will have forthcoming details on the location of this tailgate, but we will be having a tailgate for the Friday Texas A&M baseball game. And Academy is providing us with some great things to give away. You can win, as you can see, or as you'll hear me say, a Blackstone Omnivore griddle, a Yeti hard cooler, a 10x10 Texas flag canopy, 2 folding chairs, and a Yeti Rambler. So make sure you come by. We will have the location very, very soon. It'll be awesome environment there for the A&M series. Game 1, Jim Schlossnagel versus Michael Early. Should be a lot of fun. Justin, thank you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com.